Hello friends, welcome back to Milk and Cookies Total War. This is Indie Pride. Got another Rome Total War replay for you. Today I am rocking the Armenians, and this is actually a very similar setup to the Parthian video that I just recorded. My arm setup is almost identical really, except that I had, instead of the 5 Eastern Infantry, I have a better infantry corps. In this one I have 5 heavy spearmen, which can use the phalanx formation. So they are definitely more resilient than the Eastern Infantry from the Parthians. But I have 6 archers, 2 horse archers, 5 cataphracts, and 5 heavy spearmen. And my opponent is my good friend YHK Chang. A lot of you may know him from the Fishy's Classic Battle Tournament that was played a while back. He is one of my opponents, and we became friends after we played. And he is a lot better at Rome than I am. I think he's played this game. I think he has like 200 hours or so in this game, so he's got a lot more experience than I do. And this battle will be a lot. I learned a lot from this battle actually, and I will try to impose some of that knowledge on you guys. Again, I'm sure a lot of you know more about Rome than I do, but this definitely was a learning experience for me, so I felt like I would share it because I thought it was an interesting battle. Going over his army setup, he's got 6 royal pikemen, Macedonian royal pikemen, 2 companion cav, and 4 light lancers. Light lancers are an interesting unit. They're light cavalry, but they have a massive charge bonus, so they can actually do a lot of damage to other cavalry as well. And like I said, they have a really big charge, so you don't want to let yourself get charged by them. A companion cav are some of the best cavalry units in the game. They are heavy cav, but they're a lot more mobile than cataphracts. And his mobility hurt me a lot in this battle, and we will see that later on in this. So let's press play right now. And again, with Armenia, as with the Parthians, you want to kind of skirmish your enemy. Their heavy infantry is not particularly good. Heavy spearmen aren't very good units, honestly. They're not terrible. They can use phalanx, they can hold out, but they're not, when you compare them to like royal pikemen from the Macedonians and sacred band from the Carthaginians and other units like that, they just can't hold their own against them. So this battle, I'm gonna be needing to impose my will with the skirmishing units that I have. My 2 horse archers and my 6 archers. I'm gonna need to win the skirmish battle, and I do have better cavalry than him. The problem though is that cavalry in this game, 1 unit can kill all of your archers. So in fact, a half depleted cavalry unit can kill all your archers. Units die so quickly in this game and route so fast, and the morale is so wonky that literally if you route a cavalry unit, a light cav unit, and like 10 of them come back out of like 54 men come back and you don't see it, they can literally take out like half your archer force in a couple seconds. So you always have to be really on guard in this game, and units move so quickly that you just have to be on point really the whole time, always paying attention, because there's really no room for error in this game. That's one thing that I've noticed. It's much different from Shogun. In Shogun, if you make a bad engagement, you can pull your guys out and you can kind of make up for that mistake and you won't be too worse for the wear. But in this game, you make one bad error or one micro mistake and you can lose half your army in seconds. So it's pretty crazy, and it's a nice challenge. It's also really annoying when you see that kind of thing happen, especially if you're not used to the game. It's just, there's just no room for error. So we're gonna both move up here, and like I said, I need to impose my skirmishing advantage. The problem is that I don't really have one. His royal pikemen, my cataphracts just cost way more than his companion cav or light cav, but really are gonna be about as effective, because he's not gonna do a cav battle with me because he knows he'll lose. But again, his mobility, he can just maximize his mobility and get his light cav to just constantly threaten me. And it's a problem because my cataphract just can't catch up to his cavalry at all. And Macedonia is a really good faction. They're one of the better factions in this game for sure. I mean, they can't really match up to Rome or some of the, maybe Carthage. But well, in the hands of a good player, they can. But I'm talking about like among like noobs maybe. But anyway, he's bringing his light lancers up to try to threaten my archers. I'm gonna use my cataphracts to try to chase him off. And the slow running speed of my cataphracts is gonna be a huge deal this battle, because I'm not gonna really be able to catch up to his archers very easily, and I just cannot threaten his flanks as well as he can threaten mine. Those light cav are just way too fast for me, and so are the companion cav, and I just can't really do anything but chase them away and make sure they don't go for my archers. His archers are coming in now, going to do some skirmishing with them, and I am going to be able to do a lot of damage to his archers, but I think we both have he has 1, 2, 3, 4, he has 5 or 6 archers, so really, I mean, the archer battle is going to be pretty similar, and I'm not going to be able to win it, really. I mean, I might end up routing all his archers, but I won't have many left. So really, I mean, just looking at the army setups, I'm at a big disadvantage this battle, because he doesn't need to win a cav fight, and with the Royal Pikemen, cataphracts can't really do anything to them unless the pikemen are tied down in melee and facing the other direction, because phalanx absolutely destroys cavalry. And all you have to do really is click an attack order on a cataphract that's flanking you, and if I try to hammer and anvil you and turn your phalanx around, my cavalry unit is dead literally in like a second. And that is one thing that I don't really like. I think phalanxes are a little bit too mobile in this game, maybe. They're able to turn around way too easily and get their phalanx up. And it's kind of frustrating when you get a hammer and anvil off, but they just turn their pikes around and destroy your cavalry in a couple seconds. Not a big fan of that. But I'm just going to chase off his light lancers again with my cataphracts and continue to skirmish with my archers. I cannot afford to start an infantry engagement though, because Royal Pikemen or some of the I don't know why I keep saying Parkmen, Park Rangers, Royal Park Rangers, great unit. No, the Royal Pikemen are just so superior to my pikes. And over here on my right, his light lancers came in and killed some of my horse archers. Again, the mobility is really going to hurt me. I'm not going to really be able to catch up to his light lancers very easily. Just chase him off, and so I lost a whole horse archer unit pretty much because his light lancers were able to get in there. He did lose some men, and I did shoot at them with my archers, but he doesn't need this cavalry to win, really. He has the infantry advantage. So he can kind of he can afford to do some damage to my archers and just sacrifice these light lancers. They're not a huge big deal for him. He just got in and routed one of my archers units, but he quickly routed as well because he was down to only 6 men. So that's 1 light lancer off the field. And it's at this point, I believe, that he begins rushing me, or maybe in a couple seconds. I'm gonna chase off these light lancers, continue with my cataphracts, and just try to get on his flank and try to threaten his flank. Again, though, these hoplites are just they're not hoplites. The pikemen are just too good against cavalry, so he's really not too threatened by my cataphracts. He doesn't really need to worry too much about them because he has cavalry to tie them down, and the pikemen will just destroy cataphracts in melee. Over on his right side, he has his companion cav just sitting idle over there, ready to threaten me. And it's at this point that I'm going to bring my cavalry forward and start trying to take out his archers. The problem in this game, though, is that he doesn't need his archers to win. And so maybe the biggest mistake I make in this battle is that I send my cataphracts, after I chase off his cavalry, that is. I send my cataphracts around and start killing his archers. But because they're so slow, they have trouble catching up to his archers, and I pretty much chase them all over the field and leave my army exposed. My heavy spearmen cannot really defend my archers by themselves because YHK Chang has a pretty decent micro, and his cavalry can just kind of go into my archers unopposed. And as soon as I lose my archers, this battle is going to be really, really hard for me to win. His pikemen are running up now, and it was kind of funny. At this point, he was like, I mean, I'm going to retreat back, and I'm going to keep retreating back all the way to the red line, and he's going to say to me, stop red light camping. And I know he was joking, but it was just kind of a funny thing because there's no way I'm going to fight an infantry battle that I cannot win. Heavy spearmen will lose terribly to royal pikemen. And so obviously I was going to kite him away and just keep running and running until my archers could get enough shots off. But yeah, I just thought it was funny that he said red line camping, because there was no way that I was going to win an infantry engagement. So at this point, I send my cataphracts forward. I'm going to try to get into a melee engagement with him. And then the famous, I hate this about Rome, is that your guys can just get sucked into a pike formation, and then you'll lose half that unit. I mean, I ended up not losing as many, but I lost, I don't know, like 15 men in a cataphract unit, really for no reason. They weren't even like that close to the pike unit, and then they suddenly got caught. But I'm going to get a rear charge off on these light lancers. I'm going to take them off the field. His companion cav, though, is just way too fast for my cataphracts, so they're going to keep running away. So I have all his cavalry now in the back of his field, which is good, except that I really cannot catch his archers very easily. And I need my cataphracts to win this battle for me. He doesn't need his archers. And I let one of my cataphracts get isolated over here against these two companion cav over on my left flank, and they're going to rout really quick. Yeah, they're down to 21 men. They just routed. So those two companion cav routed them. And it's at this point that I start to get kind of disorganized. And obviously I'm scared because he has two companion cav that are really close to my army, and my heavy spearmen are not fast enough or mobile enough to deal with those two companion cav. So, excuse me, wow, that was hot. He's going to be able to kill a lot of my archers, and I'm really not going to be able to do anything about it. And so, yeah, you can see in the distance, the cataphracts are chasing his archers off. Yeah, it's good that I'm killing them, but what I should have realized at this point was that I don't need to kill his archers. He doesn't need his archers. I need my cataphracts to help me turn this infantry engagement in my favor, and they're just way too far away now. I should not have worried about those archers at all. And so now I see all his cavalry coming in. I'm going to try to tie them down with my horse archers. They're not going to be able to last long in melee at all, though. And another weird thing that really sucks, and I did not know, and this is one thing that I learned about Rome, is that heavy spearmen, despite having the name spearmen in their name, they don't use their spears unless they're in phalanx formation. So I didn't have them in phalanx so I could keep them mobile, but his companion cav is going to come in, and my guys are going to have their swords out instead of their spears, and so he's just going to be able to do a lot of damage to my spearmen, which I thought I'd be, like, naturally, they're heavy spearmen, you would think they'd be able to kill companion cav really easily, but if you're not in phalanx, no, they can't, they just use swords. I thought that was kind of dumb, but I get super bunched up here. I'm way super out of position at this moment, and kind of freaking out, kind of getting lost in the micro. My back's to the red line, my archers don't really have anywhere to go. Again, I'm not really in phalanx, so his companion cav's going to be able to do more damage to me. And I'm just not looking very good at this game at all right now. He's just imposing his will, and he's going to kill a ton of my archers with those companion cav. And his royal pikemen are closing in. I'm going to take this infantry engagement now, because I felt like my cataphracts were in a good position, which they are. But like I said, he can just turn his phalanxes around, and there won't really be anything that I can do about it. So I just need to try to tie down his men ASAP. I really need to work on my phalanx micro, because I always put them in formation like way too early. Like you can see right now, they're super slow and out of position. And like really what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to get them out of phalanx and run them to where you want them to be, and then go into phalanx in like the last moment. But I'm not very good at that yet. So we're entering the final engagement here. These guys, wow, these guys aren't in phalanx, which is weird because I told them to go into phalanx, but they're not in phalanx, so they're going to get destroyed by these royal pikemen, obviously. And my cataphracts are in a threatening position. I'm flanking around behind him and going to try to hit any phalanx that are facing the opposite direction. And I do get some nice hammer and anvils off right there. I killed about 40 men in that charge with my cataphracts. But as soon as he turns around, my cataphracts are starting to getting butchered. And really, all over the line, my cataphracts are routing because he's turning around his hoplites in the correct fashion, routing my cataphracts. And obviously, heavy spearmen cannot deal very well with these guys. I just got a really nice hammer and anvil off in the middle there. I don't remember if I was able to rout that unit. I don't think so, because their royal pikemen have really high morale. And my general just died, and yeah, this is over at this point. I have no hope of winning. It was a learning experience, though. I learned, one, that heavy spearmen do not use their spears unless you're in phalanx formation, which would have been good to know beforehand, but whatever. That was one thing. I also learned that cataphracts are slow, very, very slow. So you need to bring maybe some light cav. Some light cav would have been good that battle. I don't know how good Armenian light cav is, but I would assume that they have some decent light cav. And I also learned that royal pikemen destroy heavy spearmen in melee. I actually knew that before the battle, but really what I needed to do that battle was just really what I needed to do was get my cataphracts in a better position to hammer an anvil and not let them run halfway across the map before coming back, because I let him kill my archers, and as soon as my archers died, I wasn't going to win that game. But I want to say good game to him, because YHK Chang taught me a lot this battle, and he is quite good at roam. Yeah, I learned a lot, and hopefully I can get better, because I sucked this battle. But yeah, I admitted defeat at this point, because there was no point continuing. But yeah, clear defeat. I didn't do terribly, but again, it was one of my first battles, so I was still learning. Looking at the statistics, we deployed similar amounts of men. He deployed a bit more than I did. I had 813 kills, he had 1100. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I hope you guys are enjoying Rome, because we got more of it coming, and Medieval 2 and Shogun as well. So I'll talk to y'all later, and yeah, see ya.